Hi folks, Gavin here from Play TV. Today I'm going to take a look at a nice gaming notebook from the guys over at ASUS ROG Gamers. This is the GL702VM gaming notebook. This particular notebook features an Intel i5 6300HQ processor. It also combines the power of the graphical performance of NVIDIA with a GTX 1060. It also features 8GB of DDR4 at 2133MHz. But it is only single channel, there is only one DIMM present, although there are two slots and it is very upgradable. It features 128GB SATA M.2 boot drive with Windows 10 64-bit Home Edition. It also comes with a 1TB 7200 RPM storage drive. It doesn't feature an optical drive as such, but obviously physical media is being phased out and downloadable media and content in games such as some clients like Steam. I forgot the other ones. It includes a 17.3-inch LED backlit screen. It's also a 60Hz panel at 1080p resolution, but it does feature G-Sync, which should work perfectly with the NVIDIA GTX 1060 that's pre-installed. In terms of dimensions, it's 415mm wide, 280mm deep, and 24mm thick, and it weighs 2.7 kilos. So it's not the biggest, it's not even the biggest footprint on your desk, but it is obviously still a 17.3-inch laptop, so that needs to be taken into consideration if you're going to be using this like it's on the train or you're going to be carting it around. It has the following ports and inputs. It's got a one combo mic headphone 3.5mm jack. It's got one USB 3.1 Type-C, 3 USB 3.0 ports, one RJ45 Ethernet port, one HDMI, one mini display port, one Thunderbolt port, and one power input for the AC adapter that is also included. Here we can see the full specifications from ASUS ROG Gamers on the GL702VM. I'm gonna run some benchmarks on it now, and you can see how it performs, and then I'll come back to you and let you know my final opinions and thoughts on this particular ROG gaming notebook. So, the ROG GL702VM is, in my opinion, it's a very good laptop, and it's got some very, very notable things that I want to discuss and I want to plow through. So, touching on the frame as well, although it's not obviously the smallest of gaming notebooks and the smallest of laptops, it is relatively lightweight for a decent gaming laptop. It weighs, as I've mentioned, 2.7 kilos, which is 2.7 bags of sugar, depending on how you want to measure things. Basically, what I really like about this is how ASUS and Republica Gamers, or ASUS Republica Gamers as they are known, have implemented, and the way they've integrated everything well, and the way they've chosen the components as well for this particular notebook. So the GL702VM, it has a GTX 1060 and an i5, and for the same price range, a lot of gaming notebooks have a GTX 1050 and a 1050 Ti and an i7. So what ASUS and Republica Gamers have done is they've sacrificed a little bit of CPU performance, so it's not going to be as good for video rendering and content creations as the likes of an i7 notebook. But this particular notebook is more focused towards gaming, and that's easily, you can tell that a mile off from the styling as well. It is very aggressive looks with the orange accents and the orange ROG logo and the way it's designed. Also, it has G-Sync, so it is a 1080p 17.3-inch screen. It's 60Hz. Obviously, games that aren't gonna be grunted and shoved around with a GTX 1060 as you would expect to. Obviously, lower than 60 frames. This is obviously going to be a lot better for the job than, say, an i7 and a 1050 in terms of frame rates. It is going to perform better in games than, you know, as the previous, you know, combination I've just mentioned. So what do I like about it? Well, it has a GTX 1060 and I like that. It's got a G-Sync, I like that. It looks absolutely brilliant. I love the orange, the orange keys, the orange lettering on the keyboard, which is, you know, relatively good as well. I also, you know, like the screen as well. It does get a little bit of glare on it. I can still see it fine. You might not be able to see it as well on the, you know, on the camera itself, but it does look relatively good. You know, it does sacrifice the i7 for an i5, but it does give you G-Sync as well, so you've got to take that into consideration. And in my opinion, it's probably the best option for gaming on a budget for a notebook that you're going to get for under £1,200. You are looking at about £1,180, what you're roughly looking for this particular notebook. But it is relatively great. It's got SSD with Windows 10. You know, it's not absolutely blazing fast. It's not NVMe enabled, but it is still fantastic. It does the job well. So where am I going to score this? Oh, I need to mention as well, it is VR ready. So the likes of it is ready, engaged for the likes of the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive and all that malarkey, if you're into VR. So back to what I was saying. So in terms of like sort of awards and stuff, does it really deserve an award? Well, yeah, it does. I'm gonna, and obviously the awards are based on 3 factors really. Well, 4 factors if you include me liking a product. It's performance, design, and value. Design, it looks great. It's great implementation. You know, it scores very, very well there. In terms of performance, it performs exactly where I would expect it to perform, and for a price range, it performs brilliantly. And, you know, price, it is no more expensive than any of the competitors on the market. It's good value, and it represents, you know, it's not a £1,200 product is not budget, you know, it's still £1,200 when you think about it. But yeah, gold award. Yep, that's exactly what it is. It looks good, it performs well, and if you've got around £1,200 or maybe $1,200 because the exchange rate's all over the place, then pick up the sorry, I'm going miles off. The GL702VM from ASUS Republic Gamers. It is absolutely brilliant styles, and I'm obviously not biased from the orange. Please don't do anything to me or hurt me. But I absolutely love the orange, and it's, you know, it's a joy to behold. And if I had the money, which I don't because I'm poor, well, yeah, I would probably pick up something like this. I would rather have the i7, but a lot of people, depending on what your penchant is, this is designed for gaming and it's spec'd for gaming, and the only glaring fault that I can really see with this particular notebook is it only runs the DDR4, the 8GB in single channel, which is a little bit of a performance hit. It's not massive, but you can upgrade it to support up to 32GB, so 2 16GB DDR4 modules, but you could easily put an 8GB 2133 MHz SODIMM in there, and you'll have 16GB in dual channel, but that's entirely up to yourself. So I've been Gavin from Player TV. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please leave a like, leave a comment. Is this the kind of notebook that you'd buy, or, you know, what do you fancy? What do you look for when you're looking for a gaming notebook? You know, do you go for a more powerful graphics card and a weaker CPU, or do you go for a more powerful CPU and a weaker graphics card? Let us know in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for watching, folks, and ciao for now.